I take offense to the sketch showing how much shorter I am than Rinkaz.
Wow, that quick? Holy cow, look at that thing. It's a good
Where?
rabble.
In the Discord.
In our Discord general chat, Lumber Gundam.
Just checking to make sure we're live.
Crafted a wonderful picture.
Yeah, I think we're live. Looks good.
Okay. You guys see the stream again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alright, sweet. Yeah, that was weird. Hopefully we weren't down for too long.
No, it didn't seem like it.
Okay.
Well, I don't think.
Let's see here. Fa, both rolls 15. Glosse, what were your checks?
23.
22 all day.
Oh, 22 altogether?
Jeez.
Alright. You guys moving softly. There is the slight creak underneath your feet of the wood, but your invisible forms leave you largely undiscernible as you make your way over to the shack. You reach the door.
Still flying behind him.
Is there only one exit to this? One entrance, one exit?
Yeah, it looks like just a front door, that's it. There doesn't seem to be much to this smaller shack. Like one person, probably a fisherman, probably either lives here or lived here at some point.
I look to where I think Glosse would be and start making hand signs and bonk myself on the head. Oh, she can't see me either, so I message say, alright, do you want to do it first, or you want me to go in? Or what's the plan?
I can do it.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Okay, so I guess Glosse will step in.
You push the wooden door open. It doesn't seem to be locked or anything as you shift the wooden handle and push the door. You peer inside. It's pretty dark in here.
I would like to cast Dancing Lights.
It's gonna uncloak you.
Okay, that's fine. This is fine.
Or, hold on, or will it? You have to make an attack.
I think it's attack or cast a spell.
Or cast a spell, yeah.
Still doing it, Glosse?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. You watch as you, with a flick of the hand, create several twinkling motes that begin to color the room inside with lightness. As you do this, you notice, looking down, you see your hand and the rest of your body become visible again. The dancing lights begin to shift around inside the shack. A strobe of color kind of colors the inside. The rest of you on the mud bank see a number of rainbow colors begin to shift from within. Glosse, you can kind of see what the bat saw, a number of what looked like some type of kind of bait and tackle, some poles at the side, a hammock, well-lived looking shack. You hear a shifting in the darkness, and stepping up from behind some crates, you see a familiar woman stand up, and long flowing hair. She turns towards you and says, Glosse? Is that you? Yes, it's me.
I want to run up. I want to run up to her and hug her. Oh, I can't believe you've been out in this horrible jungle for so long. It's so gross and rainy out here. There's something in the air. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm mostly fine. Yes. Are you all right?
Yes. The natives, are they safe? Are they good? Are they cool people?
The natives. What do you mean?
The elf people, the green, leafy, long-eared elf people.
They are wildlings.
Oh.
I'm an ambassador to most of the lands here, a large portion of the Celestial Cradle, in fact. It's been some time. I've been doing my part despite my banishment from Jadra. I have been working with the local communities here. If you're speaking of the wildlings, then they do not typically deal with the larger camps of folks on the cradle, though they live their lives relatively quietly in the jungles around these pods.
I look at Fa, or look in the direction of Fa. Go get the others. And no, I have an earpiece. I just say, I found Ilana Lu.
No, that's not fun. Do the first thing.
Okay, we'll do the first thing.
I appear behind Glace and poke my head out the window. Hey guys, come on!
Ilana Lu, are you here alone?
As far as I know, yes.
Do you know about anything about the jungle being hostile?
I'm not terribly familiar with this portion. This is the Kentaurus Valley. I have had some meetings with the people of the Rarthak village nearby, but I do not know many of their tales. The village being alive, I have not heard anything about that. A group of Skro had come here, nearly captured me, though there was a group of Gif who tried to pull me away from them. In the ensuing attack at the nearby village, the two ran into one another. There was a firefight of sorts, and I was able to free myself from the group that had captured me. I figured I could hide out somewhere until the rain passes, and hopefully make contact and see what was left of the camp afterwards.
All right then.
Do you know?
Oh, are we all there now?
As she finishes saying this, the rest of you have gathered up. The rest of the gift team following behind, but still keeping some distance to allow you guys to make contact. The rest of the group is able to get up to the door. Those of you who remember Ilana Lu, remember that she was originally your representative from the Sacred Serenitals, one of the 4 factions of the Twixt, who was banned to the Celestial Cradle after misdiagnosing Sun Kong from being infected with a slod creature. She looks up, although you now remember that she is blind, and says, "Hello, everyone."
Oh.
Pleasure to meet you.
Good to see you again.
You notice now, different than before, that she does not seem to have the large harp that she typically carries with her in hand.
Is she a human?
Yeah, she looks human.
Okay. Do you know anything about the Skro working with wild people?
I'm not too familiar if there is such a case of this happening, no.
How do you feel about walking around with a wild person in chains? The gifts seem to think that she could plan something, or she has planned something with the Skro.
Well, was anybody able to ascertain if this is true or not?
We
That
can't
would be my
understand
first
her.
thought.
Can you speak the local language?
Oh. Well, she says, kind of running her hand through her hair. You can see her hair is long and reddish hue. It's dirty, but still nice looking. Her whole form, she has a certain beauty to her. She says, typically, sensing and communicating with people is something I could do through more than just language. I could do so through music, but not without my magic harp.
Oh. Where is it?
Was this how you used to communicate with them? The harp?
I did plenty of things with it. It was my way, you see, of sensing auras of people, as well as helping to communicate with others. My sight may be gone, but I have many other ways to see and speak. My harp was destroyed when the Skro took me.
Oh. Well then, problematic.
There's nothing else you could use?
I am pretty proficient with most musical instruments. However,
Oh,
the one that I was attuned to had a specific magical enchantment that worked for me personally. I could play you a pretty song, but little else without it.
Well,
What are you all doing here?
Fulfilling my destiny.
Ooh. I mean, in a way, yes, we are here to look into Rinkaz's past, so
Ascension.
he may ascend, apparently. This is the first I've heard of it, but that's what we're here for.
She shifts past the crates, kind of occasionally brushing some of your shoulders as she moves past, and places a hand on your shoulder, Rinkaz, and says, "What destiny is that?"
I must ascend.
Ascend to what heights?
Dear woman of the trees, you may have lost your voice, but I will help guide you in the future.
she's blind. She's not mute.
He meant the harp. It was a sound analogy.
Oh.
She places a soft palm of her hand against your cheek, Rinkaz, and then runs her head, places her palm at the top of your forehead, Rinkaz. And she turns to the rest of you and says, "You're aware that this place is affected by the Wyrd, correct?"
Oh,
Yeah.
all too familiar at this point.
She looks back to you, Rinkaz. "I hope that we will help you in your ascension."
Yes, thank you. You will be shined upon.
You are aware that... No, never mind, she says.
I think you should. Maybe you should finish that thought.
Alana Lu, how were you able to tell it was me?
Well, it's difficult without my harp. But when in close proximity, especially when I can sense the magic coming from you, I know your signature.
Oh my. Interesting.
Maybe we could bring in that woman that the Gif have in chains. Maybe the woman knows Alana Lu?
Yes, let's go get them.
I don't speak to many wildlings, but I could take a look, I suppose. You said you're with a Gif, she says as she steps out. You guys can now see at the edge of the walkway, the rest of the Gif are kind of just standing, staring. The tabaxi with the prisoner close by are all kind of just staring back.
Did you find her?
Ras says.
Mission accomplished. That was pretty easy as far as quests go. I do like a ta-da as she comes through the door.
Can we borrow your prisoner for a second?
As you guys kind of step out, you hear Ras say,
Ambassador. Good. Good that we found you. You've done well, tycoons.
"Yes," Alana
Happy
Lu
to-
says. "I managed to escape relatively unscathed. I believe you were sent here to rescue me, was it?" Ras says,
Yes, the patrollers had asked to speak with you.
"And you seem to have another one with you," she says. Kunk kind of turns and says,
Yeah, she may have been one of the ones working with the scroll, we're not too sure. Can't understand what she says.
Ilana Lu steps up closer to her, Spots kind of eyeing her with a raised furry eyebrow. She reaches to place out a hand against the hand of the wildling elf. She pulls back a bit. Ilanalu slowly shifts forward peacefully and gently puts her hand on the prisoners. There is a sense of confusion in the wildling elf's face. Ilanalu turns to the rest of you and slowly removes her hand. I'm unfamiliar with this one, but yes, she is a wildling elf of the forest here. They typically do not make communication with most of the villages. They live out their lives in the wilds itself, the thicks of the jungle.
All right then. So, now that we've secured the ambassador, what's next for you patrollers?
Well, next up is we need to find the rest of our unit, but this damn rain has been nothing but pouring down for hours now. I figured we could shack up and wait for it to pass, and once it clears, make finding the rest of our team that much easier. Would you guys be willing to stick it out until then?
Oh, why the hell not?
We're here, so might as well.
We're going to be here until we find that damn communicator, so... Yes.
Kunk looks around and says,
Question is where do we set up shop at?
Do we think the hut is big enough for all of us?
it looks pretty small, unfortunately. There's probably like 3 or 4 of you that could fit in there, but there's quite a party here.
Well, do
You
you have
guys haven't seen any caves or anything maybe around? Since you've been here for a bit?
Spots looks around and says, no caves, but we could build somewhat of a campfire and at least stay out in the clearing of the mud banks here at the lakeshore. That'd at least give us plenty of eyesight around should any of those scrow try to make their way through the thicket towards us.
Probably a good idea. Maybe some of us should keep watch as well.
Yeah, let's head towards the clearing.
Sounds good. We'll do it more towards the thick of the jungle side. That way we don't get caught up in the mud, she says as she kind of shifts her feet through the sloshing nearby mud since she's kind of standing out on it at the edge of the bridge or walkway. Very well, Ilana Lu says. I suppose we'll set up camp and try to wait out the storm, she says.
Not too close to the jungle, I hope.
We don't want to use this hut at all.
Well, we can't all use
We can't all. Yeah.
But
Well, what if some of us stayed in the hut and I make us a hut ourselves?
Oh, how do
Well,
you
I mean,
do that?
You can do that.
I picked up a new trick last time we were on Neo Gokyo. Think I could fit about 9 of us.
Oh. This sounds delightful.
If we want to stay here.
What kind of hut are we talking about?
Kunk says.
Dry one.
Well, that's good.
Like a physical hut? You need us to cut down some of the nearby bramble and help make something like that?
No, I just need a few minutes to concentrate. I don't really know what it'll look like, but I think it'll work.
Well, this is great. It'll keep us all safe and out of the rain. Let's do it.
Portable
Kunk
temple.
looks over at the rest and says,
Oh, right. Magic.
he says, and the rest of the gift kind of nod their heads.
Well, perhaps you would feel better in the hut. No, not the magic hut. This actual hut that the ambassador was staying in.
Rash shakes his head.
No need. If we get ambushed, we're stuck in there. I'd rather have eyes on them if they try to come out of the woodwork. We don't mind setting up nearby the brush. It'll keep us mostly out of the rain and especially out of the mud. You guys want to shack up in this magic hut, you're welcome to, but hopefully there's some type of solid flooring so that you're not walking through the mud banks.
Does it have that in VD?
Yes.
Great.
It does.
Well, then, no harm in us setting up right next to the gift. Let's get to it.
We should stay close, though.
Kunk says.
I
Of
agree.
course. Yes.
Within eyesight, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Few feet, maybe 10 or so, 15. Just because of the rings.
Of course. Yes, let's do that.
Can I do like an insight on Kunk? Does he seem scared at all?
Sure, make an insight check.
Oh, hate that.
You're 80?
80.
Oh, thanks, Kyle, for the natural 20.
Oh my god.
Please make me a D10,000.
This is some nonsense. This is some fucking nonsense.
3,635.
Random ass. Boy, I love that random ass.
You turn into an orc.
Not the first time.
Again? Ugh.
You, everyone kind of standing here finishing up this conversation, each hear what sounds like the snapping of like a piece of wood.
Ooh.
And you turn back towards the fisherman's hut and see that now there is no door there.
Ooh, interesting.
What? Like something, does it look like something busted out of it? Or like...
There
When it
doesn't
ran
seem to
into-
be a door at all, or any trace of it. Just seems to have just disappeared.
Oh.
Glossy, you turn back to Kunk and see him fidgeting into his side pouch, pulling out a large bundle of this tobacco product and shoves it back in his mouth.
Oh, we should set up camp.
Yeah.
Kunk, would you like to stay with us and maybe catch up? Give us a rundown of what you've been doing?
No, I'm fine.
Oh.
Well, you heard him. He's fine.
You're all welcome to come and hang out with us, Giff.
He says, shifting his shoulders a bit in a proud-like manner.
Okay.
Maybe some of you can help make out what this one's saying.
I want to do that.
Well, let's set up camp first.
He says,
Can
Okay.
I help them with that at all?
yeah, so they begin to make their way back away from the fisherman's hut, kind of close to the area that led out to that open clearing that you guys initially came out to, back where the path forks back out to the west and the east. They begin to cut a little bit at the edge of the jungle wall, trying to gather a bit of supplies. Make like a survival check, Ace, up to kind of help grab some supplies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. It's like the third 2 I've rolled this session. That's only a 7 total.
You're able to get a couple pieces of wood, but you may not have had a ton of experience just having to be out in the middle of nowhere crafting pieces of wood or fuel for a fire. You seem to have collected a decent amount, although not as much as you'd like to get, and you now notice that the rest of the gift just have like underneath their arms just bundles of it. Kunk looks at you and kind of laughs and he says,
You could toss that on top.
Yes, it's not used to finding dry firewood in a wet environment. Sorry about that.
Sure.
he says, as they begin to throw their wood and work it into a pile to make a relatively decent-sized fire. You get the sense that they're collecting more than what would normally be, just because of, despite kind of being a little bit underneath the canopy here, at the edge of the jungle wall, that the rains are still pattering on it, so they're just trying to make up for what's going to be hit with water as they kind of build a fire here. One of them takes their torches and kind of does the thing where they dip it into it and wait for it to catch. A fire begins to form. The wet, sort of cold jungle here, it feels nice, each of you, to kind of be next to the fire. They all kind of begin to put their packs down, some pulling out some like fabric and some like just pieces of cloth and stuff like that they can form into like a blanket. Some of them have actual blankets that they kind of throw down onto the kind of wet, slightly grassy terrain as they kind of take a seat. You guys notice that Spots kind of sits by, keeping a close eye on a wildling prisoner next to her. She begins to kind of sharpen one of her blades and kicks her 2 feet up on one of the kind of stump pieces that she collected out of a piece of wood. Ras and the others sit down and begin to kind of just go through their packs and check their things. You notice that Ras looks over the rest, making sure everyone's okay, and Marok pulls a couple pieces of jerky out of his pack and begins shoving them into his mouth.
You boys like cards? I pull out a set of cards.
Oh my goodness.
What do you say we play a game or two?
Anything to pass the time.
You hear Kunk say.
Totally. Is Invidi putting up the hut while this is happening?
I was going to say, as you're saying this, Fall, and the others seem to be slightly interested, Alanalu turns to the rest of you and says, what about you all?
If this is the spot, I just need a few minutes to concentrate.
Perfect. I think I would like to stay dry tonight.
Well, I think you'll like this one.
Good.
So I would like to ritual cast Leomund's tiny hut.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
What does that do?
Leomund's tiny hut.
Makes a tiny hut.
10-foot radius, a mobile dome of force springs into existence around and above you and remains stationary for the duration, which would be 8 hours. Spell ends if you leave the area. 9 creatures of medium size or smaller can fit inside the dome with you. So that'd be 10 total. Spell fails if the area includes a large creature or more than 9 creatures. Creatures and objects within the dome, when you cast a spell, can move through it freely. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. Spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. The atmosphere inside the space is comfortable and dry, regardless of the weather outside. Until the spell ends, you command the interior to become dimly lit or dark. The dome is opaque from the outside of any color you choose, but is transparent from the inside.
What color do you make it on the outside?
Softly gold.
Of course.
Okay. You spend some time ritual casting this. A 10-foot radius dome shifts into appearance. It sort of has a soft gold hue to it. It has that sort of surface look of like oil, of shifting gold and shifting around. You see, as you finish up, Marok looks up and says,
Careful with that magic.
and he kind of shifts a little bit in his ground seat that he's made.
Oh, well, we always are, aren't we, Inviti?
Yeah. Controlled.
Links.
Controlled
you like
and
it.
calm. And careful.
Well, since you guys are sleeping outside, here, have this. You just push the green button. I hand him over my alarm that I made.
Oh, good shit.
Just hit the green button and don't ever press the red button.
What's this do?
Ras says as he kind of palms the item, kind of turning it and looking at it.
It's a proximity alarm. If anything intrudes upon the space that's designated to it, the alarm will sound. Wham, wham.
Helpful.
Indeed.
Perhaps we'll take a bit of a rest, turn this on, just in case. In the meantime, our eyes can do the watching.
The others kind of nod in approval. Ilanalu turns and says, well, including all of us, besides the other group here, that makes, let's see. Ukog kind of begins counting heads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Along with the familiars, that pretty much fills the place up.
I think so. Be a nice little cuddle pile, won't it?
Marok turns to you, Fa, as the others are kind of eyeing the hut, and says,
What about those cards?
Yeah. Oh, okay. What's your game?
What kind of games you got?
Well, let me show you one really cool one I call 3-card Monty. It's made me a lot of friends and enemies.
He looks at you, cutting his eyes a bit your way, and says,
We'll play, but no magic.
No magic.
Spots?
he says, I'm fine, she says, kind of continuing to sharpen her blade. The other three seem pretty interested, Fa. They seem not wanting to kind of be dulled by boredom of kind of waiting out the storm.
It's a great game for soldiers. See?
And it's relatively warm next to the larger fire here. The rest of you, are you guys going inside the hut? What are you doing?
I want to stay out with Fa, but this because I want to talk or try to communicate with the prisoner.
Glasse, I'm surprised. Usually you would be one to stay out of the rain and the mud. These gifts must have made quite an impression on you.
Well, yes, but there's possibly an innocent woman in chains. I can't just leave her out there.
Well, that's very admirable of you. Well, it's not me you have to convince. You have to convince the GIF. I'll be inside. Just holler if you need anything.
Mm-hmm.
Not you. I'm specifically not listening.
Fa kind of heads over, and you guys watch as she begins kind of doling out a couple hands to the GIF as they begin a card game. It's actually playable here, Fa, being under a little bit of the canopy nearby the wall of the jungle here, so your cards get the occasional droplet, but they stay dry for the most part for you to play. As you are kind of playing a couple hands with them, Glasse, what do you do? Is everyone else retreating to the hut?
I am.
Alright. Alana Lu heads inside. Ukog, Sunkong heads inside.
I don't have to maintain concentration on it, so I'll kind of stay outside but near it, just in case anybody needs anything.
Okay.
Do you want to play?
Yeah, they're happy to play. Or are you talking to Avidi?
Yeah, I was inviting Inbidi.
Oh, sorry.
Inviting Inbidi.
I haven't played cards in a while. Sure, thank you.
Perfect. Come on in. So everybody else has chipped in 5 gold. So
Oh,
just put it right there.
Is that even true?
You notice Nvidia a small stack of gold coins.
Oh.
Sure, I'll add 5.
Nice.
do you ever play for fun?
Well, money is fun.
Right.
I've got a robot to buy. I need to start making money.
Oh, we can help you with a robot. You don't have to.
Yeah, but this way's more fun. Come on.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes, it's fun. This is fun. It was fun.
We'll do it your way.
Excellent. You already lost.
Oh, I don't like this game.
It happens.
Tough luck.
Can I try again?
Yep, it's just 10 more gold.
Oh, it gets more gold.
It was 10 gold the first time. How much you put in?
The GIF huddle in together and are kind of snickering with one another.
I thought you said 5.
Oh, that was the buy-in, but then you have to put in 5 to play.
Oh,
He's just grifting him out of money.
okay. Just for the sake of fun, right? Yeah.
For the sake of fun.
You guys begin to play a little bit of cards. Glasse, what are you doing?
I want to kind of I'll acknowledge spots, but I want to sit.
She looks up as you approach and kind of just boredly looks back down, sharpening her blades, and says, "You can try, but we can't understand anything she says."
Right, right. I want to sit down on the ground if the elf is on the ground.
She is, yeah.
Ugh, okay. I won't make a face when I do it. I want to appear as kind as possible when I sit down on the ground.
She has she's doing that thing where she is kind of like sitting down with her knees up in the air and her hands kind of like holding them to her chest as she is kind of staying close by the fire. Her hands still pulled together by the thick rope.
Okay. And I do kind of similarly to what Ilana Lu did. I want to reach for her hands to be friendly and like I'm not here to like fucking be rough with her or like whatever, you know?
She gives you a bit of a sneer, just a little but doesn't pull back as you reach a hand out.
I point back with my thumb towards Spots, like in front of me, so Spots I'm trying not to do it so Spots sees.
She doesn't really seem to care. Yeah, she's like busy sharpening her blade. Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to make like a face or something like ugh.
She turns to you and says, "Ulrico."
I want to try to maybe say something in common and then Sylvan. Like, do you know any other languages?
She turns to you and says, Onkris, Isku, Creson. She seems to be speaking in a language you don't understand. It sounds like pieces of maybe Sylvan, but it is just way too separate to fully grasp what she's saying. And Vita, you are standing nearby, and you like outside of the hut. Even those inside of the hut can kind of get the general sense of just the goings on outside. For those of you who are wondering.
Hey, Fa, this game's really, really fun, but I think I need to get up for a minute.
Okay.
Can we play again another time?
I'll be happy to take your money anytime you want.
Okay. Sounds fun.
All right, boys. Now we're doing strip poker.
Oh no!
I love Fa.
I've already won.
Oh no!
The GIF look back at one another and kind of eye each other, and then look back at you, Fa, and kind of eye you, and then look back at one another and say,
All right.
Brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
Just give a thumbs up and walk over to Spots, Glace, and the wildling.
I want to point to me, and I want to say my name, Glace, and I want to point to Invidi and say Invidi, and then I want to point to her and like wait.
Alright. I'll pull my cowl down as that happens, so I'm actually ready this time.
You begin to pull your cowl down, Invidi. Are you casting comprehend languages?
Yeah.
Okay. Both of you, even with your comprehend languages and Glace, even without, you see the prisoner kind of look back to one another, and she says, she kind of looks back at the flames from the campfire and says, Arana.
Ayana.
Arana.
Ayana.
Arana.
Arana.
Isco. She says, you hear her, Invidi. She says, yes.
That's it. Got it.
Ah, beautiful.
They're doing it. It's so sweet.
Tatonka.
Tatonka.
I'm so glad somebody got that reference. Okay.
Glace will point to the jungle. Okay, so now she'll point to the hut and point to us, and then she points to the jungle and points to Arana. And see if she like agrees or doesn't agree. like, she lives in the jungle. I don't know if that makes sense.
Make like a like an insight check. Like you're trying to do this for her.
Yeah.
Can I assist on insight?
Sure.
Yeah.
The more rolls, the better.
You got it.
Okay, well, that's gonna be a total of 19.
You make these motions, and Rana looks you over, and you hear her say something intelligible, Glace. In Vidi, you hear her say, yes, I come from the jungles. I live with my people there. You are foolish to trespass on these lands.
She lives there, but it's bad news if we go on the land. She says it's trespassing.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's like dangerous in the woods. As I point to the woods and make like a growly face.
As you do, Glace, you and Envidi, and even you, Fa, more so than the others in the hut, begin to hear the subtle sound of what sounds like a discordant wailing that drifts through the rain. It sounds at once both like a hunting horn and the discordant howl of bagpipes, but also the rumble of thunder. Something about it gets right under your skin. The GIF all kind of begin to look at one another and kind of just look around a little bit.
I look to Irana, and see if she says or does anything. Like, she looks scared or like proud.
You can tell she sort of looks up and around as you now notice the sound just seems to be coming from almost all around. Now those of you in the hut can hear the subtle sounds of this strange piping.
Oh, I definitely pop out of the hut to get a closer listen to it.
A message, let's see, I guess say a message in VD and say, are we helping or hurting?
Helping right now.
Okay.
You
playing cards.
Okay. You can hear the piping, Fa. Looking around, Orana begins to say something unintelligible, Glace. In Vidi, you hear her say, it comes with the rain at night, when Ubtao weeps for his people. The old men say it comes when the rains don't stop. And this month, it rains and rains. She looks up at you and Vidi, almost sensing that you can understand her. You hear it singing first. In my village, they call it Mamambo Yawazimu, the pipes of madness. The old men say the singing means it's hungry. It sings for its supper. She looks over at the GIF. The GIF occasionally look over her, seeing that she's been talking a little bit more now, but they can't seem to understand her. She looks back at you and Vidi and kind of runs a pointy ear, kind of just turning their direction. She says, sometimes they kill a hippo, hoping the meat keeps it happy, but it never does. She stops for a moment looking into the fire as you continue to hear this haunted piping. She says, when I was little, we found a man. He was sucked dry like a corn husk. It hung him from a tree. The old men say it sang through his mouth, stealing his voice to draw us closer. I didn't believe them at first. Then I heard my grandmother calling me through the rain. She was dead since I was 4. She inches a bit closer to you and Vidi. When it comes for you, it comes through the jungle. The trees ripple and bulge as it moves through them. When it gets close, it makes fangs from the branches and eats you alive. The old men call it Pari Mafe, the hungry jungle. They say it can't be killed. You can burn the trees down, try to chop them down, but it only makes it angrier. It never stops. It's always hungry. She begins to turn her head, looking around. It's out there, somewhere. And you've got it mad.
Well, she's awfully talkative now. What's she saying, BD?
Oh, that's a lot to take in. So I'll nod a few times and smile, and then turn to the group and kind of reiterate as best I can. So her people know of this thing that wails in the night in the jungle, and apparently the jungle is hungry, and it hurts people the same way we saw the pioneer patrollers earlier. And it also can mimic and sound familiar to lure you in. It sounds really, really bad.
I can too.
Well, are you angry? Because she says it's very angry at us.
Is that what's...
If we hurt the jungle, then it gets more mad.
Hearing that, the three GIF slowly begin to reach for their weapons. Both Kunk and Marok are only wearing their pants.
Amazing.
They look around. The piping grows and grows, and then suddenly it stops. For a moment, you hear nothing but the pounding rain and your companion's heavy breathing. And then each of you, those of you outside of the sphere closer to the jungle edge, hear a horrible rustling of plants.
Oh!
On that side of the camp. The gift begins shifting around. The bushes bend and stretch, and darting out from within, you see man-sized raptors with sharp talons burst forth, screeching. I need you all to roll initiative.
Wow.
It's a perfectly scientific explanation for this.
Yeah, fucking raptors.
Another two!
Yeah!
Oh, God.
Another two.
I see a one.
I think... Jeez.
It doesn't count for initiative, I don't think.
It doesn't count for initiative, luckily.
It still just sucks.
Let's see.
Bazoople.
I started getting...
Shablam!
Yeah.
Squash.
Heebie-jeebies from that story, man. It's a good story.
Yeah.
You like that?
I'm glad I was the only one who understood it. That's great.
Glasse was like staring, like with her mouth like wide open. She didn't understand any of it. It was just intense.
Just kind of like the idea of like Aesop just walking over like, whoa, what the fuck is she saying?
Oh, wow.
Clever girl.
That's wrong movie.
I know, it was a callback just for you.
Shit.
You hear Marok say, is the most of them, Kunk trying to pull his pants up, halfway unzipped.
Oh god, they're so dead. Look at that initiative.
Fa completely closed still.
What the fuck?
Ah, yes, skilled warriors. They will aid us in our journey.
Redness, get your shit together.
Don't worry, I'm not an idiot. We must defeat them to ascend. Die, you scaled bastards.
At least he's still working with us.
I suppose.
Did Kunk roll a 1 also?
Yes, he did.
Oh,
Damn.
God.
What the fuck?
He was also
Okay.
nearly naked, so I mean...
He's dead.
So, we have like a little under 10 minutes. Did you guys want to play a round of combat, or did you want to just save it?
One round.
Yeah.
One
It's already
round.
12?
Yeah.
Close.
Went so
Level
quick.
53.
I know.
Wait.
Holy
How
cow.
many? Put the initiative right. Then I want to decide.
Okay. Well,
No, one round. One round.
One round. One round. One round.
All right, one round. Let's take a look here. Okay, so the first dinosaur, actually, as a matter of fact, these are big babies, and I should make them big babies.
Oh no, they're.
Oh,
no.
Smart.
Oh no!
Yeah, they're big.
This didn't go the way I wanted it to.
They're big daddies. Up first is a 1 next to a rascal and Kunk.
They're dead.
No! No! No!
Did they
It-
roll a 20?
This one did, yes, a natty 20. This one launches itself at Rascal. Let's see. It launches into the air as if to pounce on him, and just with his brute strength, he's able to throw a forearm and shoulder up to kind of knock it back. But it still launches its jaw and fangs deep into his arm, rending some flesh out. He says as it pulls back away from him. It throws one of its sharp claws his way, but he's able to catch it with his curved blade. It backs up, giving a dinosaur-like screech. Rinkaz, you're up. You look outside of the hut and see your friends being assaulted by very large-looking dinosaur creatures.
I'm assuming this one right here with the 11 initiative is next to Glosse, yes?
Yes.
I mean, technically, you wouldn't really know which ones those are.
Gotcha.
You could maybe make a check. I'd allow you to make a check and see. But that wouldn't be free knowledge, per se.
I'll take a shot at the one that was attacking Rascal, because I don't think they can...
Okay, that's this guy up top, then.
Okay. Yep, him. Alright, I'm going to use my revolver. No, I had my rifle out already, so I'll use my rifle, sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
Would you call that a naked gun?
Yes.
Oh, shoot me in real life.
Surely you must be joking.
Does a 30 hit?
A 30 is going to hit.
Don't call me Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley.
16 damage.
A shot rings out as Rinkaz steps out from the hut. I'm assuming you have to step out from the hut to fire?
Cannot.
Yeah, you can't.
Okay.
Hold
Nothing can
on.
pass through it except for the
Gotcha.
creatures, right?
Creatures and objects within the dome when you cast a spell can move freely through it. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through
Okay,
it. So I
so-
would assume.
The ammunition would be stopped, so Rinkaz, you kind of have to take a step out of the hut to fire. But you do, everyone sees Rinkaz come out of the opaque hut, kind of just shifting his shape into appearance as he fires a shot, seeing the raptor attacking a Ras. You fire a shot, it catches as the raptor-like creature kind of jumps in the air from your shot.
Be gone, heretic!
Oh, Rinkaz, buddy.
Does a 30 hit again?
Yes, that will hit.
13. Heathen!
Alright. Another shot rings out, catching the creature right in the shoulder now for some solid damage. Good job.
I'm gonna take an action surge and do it all over again.
Holy shit, alright.
Feel my power! That would be a big yes.
Okay. Wow. Oh! Oh
Oh!
Good job.
Rat-a-tat-tat-tat.
That's no good, buddy. I'm gonna need you to make a D10,000 as your shot goes a little wide into the jungle brush itself.
no! Doesn't your gun get jammed too?
It does. So I'm gonna
Class
switch
A.
it to my revolver.
Oh boy.
Like everybody near you explodes. Go wait.
152.
A low roll, 152. Let's take a look here.
152 rabbits.
That's
Explode.
funny.
As you look around, Rinkaz, after firing those 3 shots, all of the plant life and vegetation around you at the edge of this wall of jungle brush just has a disgusting, sickly appearance to it.
The creatures, they're destroying the forest.
Oh my god.
It looks as though ooze drips from the leaves where water once hit it.
Wait. Is this he's just seeing it, or we're all seeing it?
And no one else sees this.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
Like
he's still
it's
crazy. Got it.
He's super crazy.
Yeah.
Anything else, Rinkaz?
Take a shot with my revolver since I got one attack.
Alright, you quickly pull your revolver out.
$21 hit.
That does.
Awesome.
Rinkaz is Florida man.
Yeah.
Just shooting bullets out of an invisible gun.
Naked. He's still naked.
God.
Guns.
He's literally like
Guns.
he's a naked lizard man who stepped out on front of his property in the middle of a swamp and fires off his gun into the jungle.
Get off my lawn.
I think at one point Aesop thought it was the weird, but now I think Aesop just thinks that Ringcast is literally having a nervous breakdown.
Oh, fuck. The shot lands Rinkaz, catching it in the knee area, and you see it stumble just a bit as the pockmarks from your bullets have rendered quite a bit of trickle of blood from this dinosaur that is pulled back from attacking Ras. Anything else?
Salt life.
Salt life.
Salt life?
and Vidi, you're up.
Oh man.
Do you follow that? Can I?
The flow grown.
Yeah. So the one that leapt at Rascal, can I see it from where I'm at? Is it visible from the
Oh
campfire?
yeah, they've cleared the jungle brush and are surrounding you guys now.
Would I be able to check to see if I recognize what sort of life form it is?
Of course, yeah. Knowledge checks are free.
Okay. I try history.
History, yep. Nature, those are all very good checks to make.
14.
With a 14 in VD, you have extensive years in college studying various creatures and stuff like that. You've never been to maybe a jungle as thick as this. However, you do remember this type of creature, at least from the textbooks. This is a Zeloraptor, a pretty aggressive type of dinosaur-like creature that hunts and stalks prey. This being a particularly good time for them to hunt in the pouring of the rain here, so that they can ambush prey.
From what Invitti described and was relaying from the wildling elf, these don't sound like what she was describing.
It doesn't, no.
No.
Okay.
These are just natural
I
think, from this planet.
Yeah, I wouldn't assume that whaling and whatnot was these from that story.
Great.
But with that, would I assume they're organic?
Yes, they look organic.
Okay.
They don't look like they're metal or anything like that. They certainly look like they have scaly, almost Rinkaz like hides.
Aesop says, if they bleed, we can kill them.
All right. I want to.
We have to cover all of the quotes. This is good.
Yeah.
I want to kind of shift in front of the wildling, and then I want to throw 3 Eldritch Blasts at the one that left at us.
God.
All right, sounds good.
All right. First one. 14 versus AC.
That just misses.
Second one. 14 versus AC.
You shoot a little to the side, hoping not to catch the gift
3,
units
4,
in front of you, and it just goes a bit wide to the right.
3, 4, 3.
Kind of looked down at my hands for a second and used an inspiration card.
4 more 4s. 4 more 4s.
That doesn't happen often.
Hey, watch where you're shooting.
You hear one of them say. 16 is going to hit.
Hey, yeah, he still has to roll.
17 versus AC.
That hits.
For 15 points of force damage.
And you are shooting the one that Rinkaz was shooting, the one that attacked Ras?
Yeah.
Okay, what does it look like when you take this one down?
Oh!
So the heavy blast of light, or the light beam, is just going to go through it, out the other side, and kind of push it back, like it would normally do, kind of ragdoll it.
Alright, it is thrown back into the nearby tree line. Its body kind of smacking against it as kind of blood spatters from the force of your knockback in BD. It crumples over to the ground lifeless.
That was easy than nothing.
Ras, now picking himself up off the ground, he actually is wearing most of his clothes, a curved blade in hand, just looks back to you and nods approvingly. Anything else?
Just look back at the wildling and kind of put, like, motion towards the ground with my hand.
Yeah, she seems to be doing her best to kind of try and stick behind you, although you do notice that Spots is kind of moving adjacent to you, still holding the rope in hand to keep her close from running away.
That's it for me.
All right.
My turn.
Oh,
Tactical
shit.
advantage. It's my
All right.
turn now. Nice. Oh, that was awesome. And then, so I am going to make eye contact with this guy up here. And just stare him down and give him the Chris Pratt, like, wave back and forth, and I'm gonna cap. Mind Spike on him.
Come on, Blue.
Level 3. So it has to make a wisdom save. DC 16.
A wisdom saving throw, you say?
A whiz bang saving throw.
All right. It fails.
16. I take 48. 26 psychic damage. Jesus, tap dancing.
Hells yeah.
Nice.
On failed save, I also always know where it is until the spell ends, so long as it doesn't travel to another plane of existence. It'll probably die first.
You watch as Foss steps up, kind of dropping the cards, staring intently at the Zeloraptor to the right next to Murok. Staring intently, you watch the Zeloraptor reel back as it scratches at its face a bit.
I like to think that it's got like the little 11 from Stranger Things trail coming down its nose.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah. All right, what else you got, Fa?
Fa does have more actions, doesn't she? She is going to hide where she is with a cutting action.
Okay.
Oh,
You kind of like quickly dart underneath, or like put yourself on the other side of the kind of bonfire they have going here, kind of hiding yourself behind the flames from most of the raptors here. Let's see here. Next up is this raptor that you just shot. It launches itself, it works its way up to Corum here, as Corum catches it with one of his blades, trying to stop it from attacking. But it, swinging its tail around, almost brushing you and Viti and Glosse in the face, it launches itself and pounces Corum as he is thrown into the in between the trees and the brush. You can now see what looks like Corum being pinned down, although you can't really see his form. You just see the back of the Velociraptor on top, kind of in a little bit into the tree line as it seems to be rending its claws into him. You hear him yell out.
Sorry.
The one next to you, Glosse, launches at you. I need you to please make a strength saving throw as it launches itself in the air. As you see in probably all the Jurassic Parks, it has its claws and its feet like straight towards you as it launches itself at you to pounce.
Got to be making that really scary raptor noise. Hold on. Yeah. That's...
Oh, nice. It attempts to just use its bulk to knock you over, but you're able to shift, doing a little bit of a dance-like maneuver from having it knock you prone. It misses but lands close and turns to attempt to launch its jaws at you. That is going to completely miss, although it throws a claw at your chest. This is going to be 21 versus AC.
Yeah.
Alright. It catches you with a sharp claw, very large too, for 10 slashing damage. Alright. Ras is up. He steps up to the one that is eyeing the hut next to you that you're still inside, Aesop. And he runs his blade out, catching it at its side. The Velociraptor pulls back a little as its chest is cut pretty squarely across, blood kind of spattering out.
Watch your sixes,
He yells as he slashes. Glosse, you're up.
Glosse is looking at this raptor horrified. She turns to her party and sees her savior, Rinkas, this naked lizard folk who is destined for the gods. She looks at Aesop, she looks at Fa, and then she smiles and looks at Rek. Lord Rinkas, the savior of the jungle.
Oh no.
Destined god of
Don't
scales.
encourage him! Don't encourage him!
You clearly are the dominant one. Why are you not the bigger one? I would like to cast polymorph on him and turn him into a T-Rex.
No!
Okay.
Take my strength! I cast polymorph on him.
This is a thing that happens.
Look, this is amazing.
This is pretty good.
It's literally the end of Jurassic Park 1.
I don't want to leave this planet.
I can't
Usually-
use the bloody body of the Tyrannosaur like last time. I have to use a living one. Let's see. I mean, you're big, Rinkas. Come on. You're Tyrannosaur-fied. It's not even play.
Dominosaurus.
He's not gonna fit in the hut now.
It'll wear off eventually.
Presented by Verizon.
What?
Man.
The Indominus Rex presented by.
Something like that. You feel yourself enlarging, Rinkas, as your scaly form grows out more and more.
Grow, my lord!
Grow!
Glosse, we're gonna have to have a word about this. Is
I
Rek
wink at
getting
Rek.
all this?
Your monstrous tail, Rinkas, nearly smashing the hut behind you as you shift, forming into a massive T-Rex.
How does Native Girl take this?
She yells, trying to kick away, as the other group of GIF now look back and go, "What the fuck?"
It's fine. We do this all the time. Don't do this all the time, Sunkong. I'm freaking out.
Fucking magic!
You hear Ras yell.
Oh
Alright.
man.
What else,
And
Glossy?
as a bonus action, I would like to use Mantle of Inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
So everybody's gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of you, yeah, 5 of you is gonna get 11 temporary hit points. And you can move close to me if you wanted.
Yes.
And
You said 11?
yes, 11. Sorry, I'm reading this really quick.
Also,
Five.
your placement on this map is a little theater of the mind. You guys aren't like all adjacent to another. There's a couple feet between each of you, and some of you are still in the hut, like you, Aesop, and those who don't want to use the inspiration exit.
I walked out.
Yeah, he walked out when she was telling the story.
Ilana stays inside for safety.
Yeah. Aesop is definitely going to duck under the T-Rex and cower behind the innocent native elf.
I want to, and as like a final, I just want to like kind of guard the native and just I'm done because I can't do anything else. So I'm done.
It's a good turn.
You watch as the wildling looks down at the opaque hut and pulls against the taut rope from Spot's hands and begins to shift inside. Spot just kind of looks and goes and lets go of the rope and points at you, Glossy, seeing that you're kind of watching that area, and says, "Watch that she doesn't escape!" And she kind of pulls a blade out herself.
Okay.
Anything else, Glossy?
Okay. Well, I have.
Fa also want to move, or is she good where she is?
No, I'm hiding, so if I move, all right.
Cool.
I have the rope now.
The rope was let go by Spot, and Rana basically just went inside of the hut.
Oh, okay. She
So
went inside.
the rope kind of pulled in with her. You assume that both her and Alanalu are kind of taking safety
good.
inside.
Then I'm done.
All right. Next up is the Zeloraptor to the left of you, Rinkaz. It sees your massive form and launches at you. I need you to make a strength saving throw as it tries to pounce at you.
This is literally the end of Jurassic Park. He's gonna crush it in his jaws.
I don't know what my modifier is.
Here, hold on. Hey guys, thanks to D&D Beyond, we can look up a giant T-Rex whenever we want.
D&D Beyond.
I didn't even think about that.
I'm in awe.
Such
Seriously.
a useful tool.
We have
So
a T-Rex.
affordable. Your strength mod as a T-Rex is +7. So enjoy that.
Strength modifier, would that add into my normal modifiers, or is it just...
No,
it replaces-
you use your T-Rex stats.
Okay.
Your form has been like superseded by your T-Rex form.
Yeah.
So D20 plus 7.
Your bite only does 4d12 +7 damage.
Right? Holy
Only.
shit.
It makes sense. It makes sense in this setting that he's a T-Rex right now.
Absolutely, it does.
Rinkaz,
Especially 'cause he thinks he's a...
you use your massive bulk to just shift to the side as the raptor tries to dig its claws and feet into you, and just use your bulk to just like shoulder check the raptor away from you. It kind of lands on its side and pulls itself back up. Rinkaz, you haven't ascended just yet, but you in this form already feel like a god. The raptor runs towards your large, meaty legs that keep you held high in the air due to your size, and it attempts to bite at you for...
Oh man.
Does it get
Roll on D10,000, Jason.
It
turn into a potted plant? What
completely misses. And Rinkaz, do you have any type of stomp attack?
Tail whip.
Tail.
They have
Tail.
tail whip,
Tail.
yeah.
Tail.
You can use a tail whip attack on it. You lift a leg up as it just dives into the mud beneath you, miscalculating its launch, just where you can swing a tail its way.
Alright, I'm looking back. Here it is. Alright.
He does have a tail, yeah. Melee attack, plus 10 to hit, 10-foot reach, 1 target. 3d8 plus 7.
Alright. I'll roll.
Oh,
Oh my.
28 hit.
That's
Oh my
good.
God.
That's gonna hit.
$22.
Jesus fucking Christ.
You slam your tail into the creature, knocking it back with a bit of considerable force. It screeches, shaking its head back from just the sheer force of your tail, kind of smashing it in the head, and runs back your way, attempting to just catch you at your upper chest as it kind of throws, almost like an uppercut, but just with a claw to try and catch you with it. Let's take a look here. Is 17 versus AC gonna hit?
Yes.
All right. It catches you with its claw against kind of your T-Rex like breast for 10 slashing damage.
Can I take a free action?
What do you do?
I'd like to speak to it in dinosaur.
I don't. So they,
I don't know if it can understand
they
me.
don't
It has-
have any language.
It has an
no, they have a
intelligence
2
of 2.
intelligent. You have a yeah.
Doesn't even have the capacity for link.
Darn.
I mean,
Would it
you
be-
speak to it by doing that sick-ass roar from the end of
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
I would like to do the sick ass roar from the end of Jurassic Park. It responds.
You do that as Kunk looks on and just shoves more tobacco in his mouth and says,
Holy shit.
he looks up at you, Rinkaz, and says,
You are one ugly motherfucker.
Wow. Do I feel compelled to eat him?
I mean, you probably don't understand him, right?
No.
Does your intelligence carry on, or do you just use the stat? Well, I guess you're right. You would use this.
Polymorph is.
He would use the
wild
T-Rex
shape
stats.
you would use. If
He
it was
maintains-
wild shape, you could use your own mental ability.
Yeah, he does maintain his like if he's good or evil or whatever.
Okay,
he maintains that.
You
I think
have
it's
a
like he can recognize friend and enemy, and that's
Right.
right. You get the sense that this gift down here would probably be a pretty good snack, but you remember in the back of your mind that you are allied with him and should probably not eat him. But there are delicious snacks of these other raptors nearby. Aesop, you're up.
Aesop feels like he would be a lot safer 20 feet in the air, so he flies 20 feet in the air.
All right, you launch yourself high in the air, away from most of the danger, but still almost at like the head level of Rinkaz.
Yeah, I ride him. No, I don't. I would be too afraid he
Oh
would
my
eat me.
god.
You should.
All right, first attack roll as an alchemist. Let's start things off with just a basic firebomb, and I want to plant it between these two ugly motherfuckers.
All right.
But this is the primary target. I have to choose a primary target.
Okay.
I'm going to use an inspiration because we're at the end of the session.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'll just get advantage on the roll.
Mm-hmm.
And let's get that guy. Okay, well, it's a 19, but I rolled advantage. Okay, that's worse. All right, so he throws a vial of blood. It explodes in kind of like a corona of fire. And I imagine this guy will take 13 fire damage.
All right. The combustible concoction ignites behind one of the Zeloraptors as it squeals as a kind of fire catches its form, dealing damage to it.
Would you say this guy's within 5 feet of the other raptor?
Oh yeah, we'll say yeah. They
he
went
has
to
make
converge on one target, so we'll say that they are.
He has to make a dex saving throw.
All right, hang on just a second here. Let's make the dex
Get
saving
used to this
throw.
shit, because this is like every one of my ranged attack.
Yeah, no problem. That's gonna be a 15.
Oh, just fails. So he takes 6 fire damage. He takes half the fire damage.
All right. The flame licking up the majority of one of them from the combustible concoction catches the other for a bit of flame to it. It whips its tail back and forth as it is kind of lit up a bit.
And because I still have a bonus action, I apply some mutagen 22 to myself, and you all see Aesop's arms get really long. Yeah, and that's all for me.
All right. You hear Murok struggling as the Zeloraptor. Well, the Zeloraptor was actually pinning him, but we'll say the concoction still caught those two. So one is next to Glacé. The other Zeloraptor is kind of over top of Murok, kind of in the brush at the tree line. You can hear the scraping noise of a sword being thrown out as it sounds like he's attacking the Zeloraptor above him. And you guys watch as the one that you caught aflame, Aesop rather, pulls back, clawing at its neck from a cut, and it falls over dead.
Nice!
You hear him just kind of like heavily breathing, kind of still knocked over, prone in the brush. Sun Kong, you're up.
Alright, so I actually thinking now with that Rencast dinosaur, he probably has this one. So I'm gonna come over here,
Okay.
attack this guy.
Pop this raptor.
I'm going to use my card now to give my next attack plus 3d6 extra damage.
Sure,
Nice.
sure. Sounds good.
I'm using my quarterstaff. What the fuck? 14?
You throw your quarterstaff up, but the licking flames on its tail is trying to quickly shift around and erratically get it off of it. Kind of, you miss, unfortunately.
Oh man, one of
Waste
your
my
16
fucking card.
attacks missed. Jeez, rough.
It sucks I wasted my card. Damn it.
It said your next attack, right? Does that
Yeah.
say your next attack that hit, or just next attack?
It just said next attack.
Oh, okay, that's unfortunate.
Still
Yeah.
the same attack action.
Just 6 more chances.
Alright, so yeah, my second attack.
Yes.
25 hits, I'm assuming.
Oh, that's gonna hit.
Right.
Get out your abacus.
13.
All right, you strike him for 13 damage.
And I want to use a key point to activate Stunning Blow, Stunning Fist. So it has to make a Wisdom saving throw? No, Constitution. Yeah. 15.
All right,
Right.
it fails.
It's done.
You see it pull back from one of your strikes as you kind of just tap it right in the upper chest area. It begins to shift and then just holds in place, almost trapped in time as it is completely stunned.
Sweet. Second attack. Well, third technical.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Ooh, and it's automatically critical though, right? 'Cause it's done?
No, that's paralyzed. You're thinking paralyzed.
Oh, never mind.
Good idea, though.
Wait a minute.
Imagine if all
And-
monks could paralyze by level 5.
Gross.
That'd be
Why would
amazing.
you take anything else?
Right. So for this round of attacks, I want to activate my flurry of blows.
Okay.
So I will get 2 more attacks instead of just 1. I'm just gonna roll my attacks first. So 28, 24, and 14 misses, right?
14 is gonna miss.
Okay, so 2 hits. 11. 14. So a total of 27, 38.
Is it a wallet yet?
What does it look like as you kill this Velociraptor?
Yes.
So I picture myself like running up its leg and just like jumping at its head and like twirling my quarterstaff and just like beating it down.
Yeah.
You strike it down. Its head is just pummeled by the top of your quarterstaff, and just like jaw snapping as it just smashes into the mud bank at the base of the ground, and it just collapses over. Anything else
That's
on
my turn.
Kunk? Okay. Kunk stands up and pulls his blade out. Actually, he pulls his crossbow out, seeing the Velociraptor close to your area, Rinkaz, and fires a crossbow bolt. It goes just a bit wide, but it immediately fires again, a bolt firing out quickly, catching it in kind of the side of the neck as it reels back. And he is done. Rinkaz, you are up.
Eat him.
We'll just finish this combat out.
Hell yeah.
Might as well.
I would like to use a bite attack.
Okay.
Eat him.
Let's say that's a plus 10 to hit. Alright, 10 foot reach. I'll use one of my cards just to gain advantage so we can
Sure.
Yeah.
You got 2 of them.
tactical advantage.
All right. Yeah,
18.
that's gonna hit, but
Alright. And that's 4d12 plus. Jesus Christ.
That's a lot of big dice.
29.
what's it look like when you kill this last Velociraptor?
I'm gonna take a bite into him and lift him up in the air as he's like flailing. I'm gonna crunch on him and toss his body into the. And then just scream as loud as a T-Rex can and stomp my feet a few times.
Ow, my ears.
The great Ringcast, Lord of Chaos!
Classy!
If combat ends, I'd like to just sit down and look around confused.
Kunk and Ras cover their ears.
Holy shit! Is he still sane?
There you go.
Yes, he's still Ringcast, so, well, yes and no, he's still Ringcast.
Alright.
Classy, drop the concentration.
I like it.
Oh. This place has a corrupting effect on you all.
I've got little T-Rex arms. I can't drink from my flask.
If I like look around to make sure there's none like no other raptors coming out, or I
Yeah,
listen.
so you look around and you see most of the raptors dispatched around you. Both Kunk kind of just trying to grab his chainmail and pull it over his body now, remembering that he was down to his pants. Ras, curved blade in hand, peering around, looking around. He looks back towards the area where Murak was. You see Murak kind of pulling himself up, he too without a shirt and just pants. Murak says,
We gotta regroup.
he kind of spits out,
There could be more of those things out there.
and you watch as his voice is cut off with a sudden choke. You watch as the color drains from his face as thorny vines curl up his legs and push out against his chest. His eyes are wide as death sucks the life out of him.
Yeah.
You hear Rasco,
Murok!
Well, it's the jungle. See the jungle?
Murok's eyes whiten as the vines consume around him. His large, rotund form begins to become more gaunt and sapped of what looks like its vitality.
Fuck.
You-
Do we have time to do anything, or is it too late?
It looks like Murok may have expired.
Holy shit.
You wait, Aesop, as you kind of are surveying this from the air, waiting for his body to just drop. But his head snaps up at you. He begins to speak, his voice a dry crackle.
Those who consume with fire must be consumed. I am the vengeance of the valley, and I am hungry.
You hear now the resuming horde piping as the plants around you guys spring to life, ready to kill.
I just got here, I swear! This isn't fair!
And that is where we will end this session.
Ooh.
Everything wants to kill me because I've committed some great injustice everywhere we go! Guys, I'm starting to think I might be the baddie.
Thank you everybody for watching. I don't know why we were having some issues earlier. I don't even know what that's from. So there may be a slight little blip where we lost some stuff during the stream, but it shouldn't be too much. But I appreciate everybody coming to watch. I hope you guys had fun. We will continue this next time. Everybody who has stopped by watching us, thank you, Looney, Loomworks. Thank you, Alfred Judokus? I don't know how to pronounce that. Alfred. Thank you, Angel of Light. Thank you, Duna, Electrical Longboard, Inquiry, Lurks, and Windsock. I really appreciate you guys stopping to watch. You guys should...
Lumber Gundam.
Lumber Gundam, yes, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, follow our channel. You get a bunch of weird bits to play around with and give the party inspiration and fun stuff like that. Or to buy fun little characters down at the bottom that you can see down there and do all kinds of fun stuff with. So yeah, sorry for whatever issues we were having earlier, but we should have those ironed out. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? But either way, we didn't lose much, if we did at all. So thank you everybody for watching. We're going to do another poll eventually, but it won't just be every single week like we were doing previously. It may be a kind of couple weeks in between. But yes, next time the ghosts will be ready for you guys to purchase and have fun with. So let's see. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you guys want to watch any more of this, or if you missed any of it for whatever reason, you can check it out on our VOD here on Twitch, or just go over to our YouTube page. That's GAWD_mode. And or you can just punch in Wyrd and Wyld, the title that we have, and pull it up. Check out all the details of all the fun stuff we have down below. We'll be redoing another giveaway at the end of this month, so keep an ear out for details on that as I kind of iron that stuff out. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys stopping by. We will be back next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.